It will be Trump against Obama. What? Gay Marie. What? Um, are you talking about like for a presidential race? Um, Revolution, can we get a fact check on that? Um, Trump against Obama in 2028. What? Who? Michelle Obama? Maybe Michelle. That's possible, but I'm not buying it. Barack? No. Revolution, let me know when you're ready. All right, here we go. Revolution's coming in. Go ahead.
Revolution, let me know when you're
Okay, so I actually know what she's talking about. Trump already made merchandise that he will be president again in 2028. He has been selling that merchandise, saying that he will be there for a third term. And the speculation people are saying, well, if he can have a third term, then so can Obama. And so that is what that conversation is, because Trump obviously he can't be president a third term. He's just making as much money as he can before he leaves, which again, everybody, he's a businessman. That's what businessmen do. But yeah, that's the debate, and it's actually quite funny because people really believe that's a possibility one way or the other.
Revolution, can we get a fact check on this? But I believe that it's consecutive terms. So because Trump didn't run consecutively and Biden won, that he is eligible to run again. Can you fact check that? But I believe that that is the case. So Obama can't run because he ran 2 consecutive terms, and I believe the Constitution states that it's for consecutive terms. So he may be able to run again. They both can't. Can you double check that in the Constitution where it says and read it to us? 2 terms in total. That's what I thought, but there may be a 2 term limit. Okay, so it doesn't have to be that they're consecutive. Okay, thank you, Revolution. I literally have a copy of the Constitution. I do too. I have the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and yeah, I think that that's just all nonsense. Okay, nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. All right, let's give this a little watch here. See. Del Taco's not getting a free ad from me. They look like Andrew Tate. Yeah, everything has to be according to the Constitution. They can't just willy nilly change the rules. They can amend the Constitution, but I believe that takes a convention of states.
On tariffs and the recently passed budget bill and more. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Mr. Secretary, thanks for joining us. I don't know how much you could necessarily hear of our last conversation. We definitely want to talk trade, tariffs, and all of the above, but let's keep the discussion going about the big, beautiful bill, deficit concerns, debt concerns. You have made the argument in the past that this will address the deficit, and you see deficits in future years coming down from whatever it is, 6% of GDP. How do you argue that that's going to happen? Tell us again.
Well, good morning, Joe. And look, we inherited a mess, and I'm not sure where all these deficit hawks were when Team Biden was blowing out the deficit. So last year was 6.7% of GDP, which was the highest it had been when we weren't in a recession, weren't at war. And as your previous guest said, we don't have a tax collection problem. We have a spending problem, and we are trying to get that under control. We are also trying to accelerate growth because changing the growth trajectory upward solves a lot of the deficit problems.
Mr. Secretary, I asked the question that not all deficit spending is equal. I don't think. And would you argue that if a deficit resulted from lower tax rates or from extending the tax cuts, whatever you want to call it, if it can cause some growth, is that superior to the deficit, or is it less deleterious than the deficit you get just from Green New Deals or IRAs or whatever you're talking about, the government, just transfer payments and the like?
Well, Joe, you're exactly right. Does the spending create more growth, and is the GDP growing faster than the deficit? One of the things that I agreed with Secretary Yellen on, the important number is the debt to GDP, and we intend to bring that down. We also intend we've cut spending on the IRA. There's substantial pullbacks. A lot of those were uneconomical, stranded assets. And the Trump economic agenda, as I've said many times, it's a three-legged stool. It's trade, it's tax, and it's deregulation. So, I also believe that the substantial amount of deregulation that we're doing is going to accelerate economic growth. And the important thing, too, is we're going to have economic growth in a non-inflationary manner, unlike we saw in the previous 4 years.
Okay, let's move on to trade. And it's amazing how quickly things move. I know yesterday you said by Wednesday we might have a couple of more deals to announce. I know it's Monday, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. Can you give us any idea whether that's likely? Is India, is that in the mix? Can you break any news for us here that something's going to happen in the next 48 hours?
Yeah, we are going to have several announcements in the next 48 hours. And, Joe, I think what President Trump is concerned about is the quality of the deals, not the quantity. As you could imagine, as he started herding the cats and trying to get everyone across the finish line, when he said that
They're
there's
eating
a
the
chance
cats.
that countries could
They're eating the
boomerang
dogs.
back to their April 2nd reciprocal tariff levels, we've had a lot of people change their tune in terms of negotiations. So my mailbox was full last night with a lot of new offers, a lot of new proposals. So it's going to be a busy couple of days. But importantly, too, that President Trump has said that the countries would not go back to the reciprocal rate until August 1st.
All right. Do you catch that? August 1st is now supposedly the new deadline. People in Ohio were fighting each other over just because Trump brought up Springfield, Ohio. How long are they going to prolong that these deals are on the table when there are no deals on the table? I know, right? This whole 48-hour thing, we're going to have to watch. Maybe we'll see something, but it'll just be some news that is buy the rumor, sell the news, So there's a rumor. We're being grifted. Welcome to politics. Yep. I want to read what Neo said earlier. Neo says Elon is starting a third party, the American Party. I'm about that. I'm about the Elon Party, man. Dude is on fire. It says they keep playing with it on purpose. I think you're right. Is it actually good? I mean, I want to believe that it's good, but does it split up the parties? Yes, but I think it's needed. I think we need a third party, and I think people need to understand that doing this two-party system is a problem. All right, so Treasury Secretary, we just taught, this is a report on what we just watched. So the Treasury Secretary says countries without trade deals will see tariffs boomerang to April rates by August 1st. So the new date is August 1st. So steep tariff rates are set to go back into effect after the 90-day pause, April 2nd, rates that racked the stock market. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Sunday that the U.S. will revert to the steep country-by-country tariff rates at the beginning of August, weeks after the tariff rate pause is set to expire. President Trump is going to be sending letters to some of the trading partners saying that if you don't move things along, then on August 1st, you will boomerang back to your April 2nd tariff level. Bessent said in an interview on CNN we just watched. So I think we're going to see lots of deals very quickly. President Donald Trump had originally set the 90-day deadline to expire Wednesday for countries to renegotiate the eye-watering tariff level, he said out in his April 2nd Liberation Day speech. He paused those rates a week later, setting them for a new 90-day deadline to renegotiate them. The deadline was set to expire Wednesday. There is basically a new deadline prompting Bessent to push back. It's not a new deadline. We're saying this when it's happening, Bessent said. If you want to speed things up, have at it. If you want to go back to old rate, that's your choice. So on Friday, referring to an August 1st deadline, raising questions about whether the July 9th deadline still stands, the White House spokesperson did not provide a comment when asked to clarify whether the April 2nd tariff rate would resume July 9th or August 1st. So we don't know, man. I'm so sick of them. They're playing with us, and they're doing it on purpose. Crypto Rap, what's up, brother? Thank you, brother. Appreciate having you. Crypto Rap's awesome. Give him a follow. Cool guy. I mean, follow him. Why not? Why not follow him? You know what I'm saying? I'm still holding Why Not, by the way. I have not sold. I'm never going to sell. I don't even look at it, dude. It just sits there. There it is. Do what you please with it. Where are you at right now, Crypto Rap? Are you in New York? Crypto Cali, thank you for the heart me. Joe, thank you for the heart me. Revolution, thank you for the club cheers. Times 15. Crypto Rap's a cool guy, man. I like him. He's got some good energy. All right. Oh, this is in the wrong section. Trump announces new tariffs of up to 40% on growing number of countries. President Donald Trump cranked up the pressure on Monday on America's trading partners, firing off letters to heads of several countries informing them of their new tariff rate. But at the same time, Trump took some of the edge off by signing an executive action Monday to extend the date for all reciprocal tariffs with the exemption of China to August 1st. Okay, so here's the thing is, they have to make a deal by the 9th, but the tariffs don't go into play until the 1st. Okay? And they're buying them a couple of weeks here, but we're going to have to see what happens with this one. Trump said those reciprocal tariffs were expected to go into, or no, Trump didn't say this, were expected to go into effect Wednesday. In some cases, the letters Trump sent specify new reciprocal tariff rates higher to April levels. Japan Prime Minister and South Korea President were the first recipients of Trump's letters. Yeah, I think you're right, Revolution. They will extend it out and they'll say, oh, yeah, we got an amazing deal. And then no deal will get signed. And it'll pump the market because people believe in the moon cheese. And it's a way of keeping the market from crashing. Trump can't look bad. He can't have that. He can't have the markets crash on his watch. Oh, no. No. All right, let's see here. So, we do our trading, right, with the moon cycle, right? We watch it. It's something that does it have full validity? No, but there's actually an indicator on TradingView that indicates the moon cycle. There's an actual indicator for it. That's how legitimate this is, okay? Chillwell, thank you for the heart me and the 3 popular votes. Okay? The fact that there's an indicator for moon cycles is crazy. I didn't even know. I don't use indicators, but it exists. So, here's the thing. Let me zoom in here. Full moon on July 2025. See the buck moon rise more where you are. Buck moon. Okay? What do bulls do? What do bulls do? They buck, right? A bucking bull. Interesting. Interesting concept that this is the full moon that we're about to get is called the buck moon. The buck moon rise. So the full buck moon is the first full moon of summer in the northern hemisphere. Will be on Thursday, July 10th. So it's the day after the whole tariff thing. This is what I'm thinking. Tariffs are supposed to go into place on the 9th, and none of them will happen, and they'll say it's a pause or whatever they're going to do. This could be very bullish. If we're looking at this, I think we're going to get a push from this, and they're doing the whole crypto week thing. So I don't know. This is one of those things where, so normally when the full moon comes, it would indicate downward movement after, right? So it'll top and then it'll start to move back down. And I think that's what happens. I really do. But also, look, it's a blood moon. It's red. So do bears buck? I don't know. But maybe we get a nice pump from this one. It's on the 10th, so if maybe they come out with a narrative that, oh, they're not doing the tariffs, right? Because they're doing it in August instead of the 9th. Maybe we do pump. Maybe we do pump. But I think after this, so the 11th, it would be down. And then maybe we get a pump from Crypto Week that they're supposed to be doing. It is hard to tell, man. For every negative narrative, they're putting out a positive narrative at the same time, and it's just so confusing right now. And the reason I think that that's a problem is it's basically keeping everything flatlined. This is a big problem. And here's another thing that's weird. Check this out. Earth is going to spin much faster over the next few months, so fast that several days are going to get shorter. Differences in the gravitational pull between Earth and the moon will make July 9th through July 2nd and August 5th, unusually short. Short. Interesting. So if the moon cycle says that we pump until the 10th, Acido says SXT, baby. Yeah, space and time. Space and time's going to move with the moon cycle. I like space and time. I think we're just way too early on this stuff, right? This might be one you got to hold on to. We'll TA it in a minute. I think it's finally found its new bottom, though. But I got a limit order in for 5 cents. Actually, it's 5.5. Yeah, accumulate that thing. That's where I'm at, dude. I'm accumulating. I'm assuming it's going to take off next cycle. If it takes off because we get an alt season, great. But long-term holding this one. So basically, there's going to be a few days that are shorter than others. But this is, in line with the moon cycle because it's the moon that's making this happen. The moon is going to be much closer to us than we're used to. Okay, so think about that. If the moon is closer, right, so that trip to the moon is going to be less distance, right? So I'm thinking blood moon, less distance, shorter days coming following this. This is an indication, I think, of downward movement, in my opinion. I think we pump until the 9th, maybe the 10th. And remember, blood moons are red on the day of the full moon. So I think 8th, 9th, we get a pump, and then that's it. Something to keep in mind. I'm thinking about doing the live so it's easier to get a moonshot. No, what I'm saying is the distance to the moon is not as far. So the moonshot will be smaller, right? It'll be less of an upward movement. Our last moon cycle was on XRP in particular, was from 211 to 260. 66, 65. So this next moonshot would be from 190 probably to 247. Probably not even that. Probably 235, 236. July 14th, and we all retire, bro. Didn't you hear? Yeah, that's when they flip the switch, right? ISO goes into place, right? They're supposed to flip the switch. ISO is implemented, but nothing's going to be changing with the banks, just the way they talk. Fed now is the new narrative. George, come up here, bro. George, come on as a co-host. I can't have you as a guest right now. Let's talk about it, man. I want to hear what you got to say. Please, I would love to have you on. Let's talk about it. Oh, you're in bed. All right. Tell me more, man. I need to know more. Are you being facetious, or are you really on something right now? I know that the Fed Now thing is the government digital money, right? That's like the Federal Reserve version or whatever. The U.S. digital. So I've heard a little bit about it. It's not really crypto, though, is it? It's something different. Jesse, can we get a fact check on Fed Now and how it's being implemented? It looks like July 14th. That's when ISO goes into effect. Can you look into Fed Now and see what you can find? No, some chick was yesterday. We were feeding the narrative last night with 400 views. No way. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes, Fed now. Look into that. So that's the moon cheese, huh? Is the ISO with the Fed now, huh? That's hilarious. Man, I'm bummed I missed that. That sounds like it would have been an awesome awesome show to watch. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. But I did see some stud a few now, but it was a commercial. Really? That's interesting. I have heard about the Fed Now thing. I'm not quite sure exactly what is going on with that, but I do know it's something. But I don't think it's going to be beneficial to crypto, in my opinion. Jesse, let me know when you got that information about the Fed Now thing. TikTok seller, thank you for the 4 roses. Let's get some gifts flying in here, guys. And if you can't give, remember, always just hit the like button. Okay, I will mic you right now. Go ahead.
Did you mic me in? Because I can't tell.
Yes, you're mic'd in.
Okay. So, FedNow service, the Federal Reserve's instant payment system, is experienced growing adoption and momentum. It started in 2024. Over 1,000 financial institutions across all 50 states have joined the network. With a focus on small and mid sized institutions, the service enables financial institutions to offer instant payment solutions to their customers with features like immediate fund availability and enhanced flexibility for time sensitive transaction, growing participation. Uh, Lots of participating financial institutions continues to increase with mix of large and small banks, credit unions, and so much. The FedNow service is expanding its capabilities, including a doubling of the transaction limit from 500,000 to 1 million, and new features like the ability to designate specific customer segments for instant payments, uh, industry collaborations. FedNow and new user groups are fostering collaborations among participating institutions and service providers, according to the Federal Reserve Bank services. Diverse use cases. I'm assuming this is what it is. Financial institutions are exploring various use cases for the FedNow service, including off cycle payroll, earned wage access, digital wallet funding, and real estate transactions. FedNow service has been recognized for its innovative approach to instant payments, receiving awards from central banking in the payment and market infrastructure development category, which is never good, but that's what it means.
All right, you got some background noise there, by the way. So Jesse, if you don't follow Revolution Starts Now, make sure you send her a follow. She is going to be taking over the show on Wednesdays and Saturdays. She's doing her own show. Jesse, tell us a little bit about your show and what you're going to be doing. And everyone, make sure you give her a follow. So go ahead, Jesse. Tell us what what you're doing. You got a lot of background noise though, so if you could kill the background noise, I'll mic you up.
More about mental health and, of course, news and facts related to it. And especially right now, so many people are going through such a tough time, including myself. So I wanted to have a platform and a safe space for people to just say what they need to say, even if they don't want the people around them to hear it. Or I know for me, I just need to say it and it makes me feel better and talk about different mental health issues that people are going through.
And tell us about your mental health background and your degree. And you there? I guess we lost her.
I can't hear you if you're talking.
Oh yeah. So what's your degree, your background?
My degree is in psychology, with an emphasis on trauma because of my own, the way I grew up. So this is something I've studied a long time. I used to be a counselor in a school, and used to be a advocate for children, which is what's my focus always has been. So I just want to help people, but not in a crypto way, but in a mental health way.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Uh, so everyone give Revolution Starts Now a follow. I will not be going live on Wednesdays anymore. Jessie will be going live and doing her live on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and then I'll be teaching the TA class on Sundays. So it's going to be 2 shows, and it's going to be 7 days a week. So you're going to be able to find something to watch from us for every day of the week. So we're expanding. That's some of the things that we've been working on over this last week. We took some time off, and we're happy to have you. I believe Jessie is licensed. She worked at a school. I believe you have to be licensed to do that. But her show's going to be more about just talking. It's not actually going to be therapy. I don't know. Talk to her about that. That's her deal. But make sure you go. So yeah, she's licensed in California. So make sure you send Revolution a follow right there in the chat. That's Jessie, our fact checker. So we are going to be having lives 7 days a week now. So make sure everybody give Jessie a follow. If you haven't followed her yet, now would be the time to do so. All right, let's get into the news. So first, this is from the Jerusalem Post. First Red Sea naval attack in months raises alarm. The attack on the ship comes as Iranian-backed militias in Iraq are also suspected of numerous drone and missile attacks over the past 2 weeks. An attack on a vessel in the Red Sea was reported on Sunday, which was the first attack in 3 months. The Iranian-backed Houthis had carried out dozens of attacks on ships between November 2023 and at least February 2024. They had ended some of their attacks due to a ceasefire in Gaza, and previously they had said they would continue attacks to support Gaza. They claimed to be targeting ships liked to Israel, but they are also targeting cargo ships linked to the Western companies. The U.S. launched airstrikes on Houthis in mid-March. The airstrikes ended in April with some kind of deal, and Houthis appears to stop attacks on ships. It was not clear if Houthis would choose to change course after the 12-day conflict between Israel and Iran. In addition, the U.S. bombed Iran. Sunday's report said that the Maritime Security Group UKMTO had received a report of an incident 51 nautical miles southwest of Hodeidah, the key port in Yemen. So the whole Iran-Israel thing, it ain't over. That's the main thing to take from this. It's not over. There's a lot going on, and this more pertains to what's going on in Gaza. And I think the Iran-Israel thing kind of took some focus off of what was going on in Gaza. Jessie, if you can hear me, could you come give me a refill on my water? I'm parched, and I drank my whole cup of water. If you could help me out with that. Giddy Marie says, wait, in Idaho, there are miles-long cracks happening, and they're over 100 feet deep, and no one is talking about it. Yes, I've seen that. That's actually been happening for a while now. It's kind of old news. I mean, that's kind of normal though, Guinea Marie. The tectonic plates shifting. Okay, it's normal. Let's not freak out about normal stuff. Censored by TikTok, thank you for the 10 goats. Marco, thank you for the 5 community fest. Marco, thank you for the 10 goats. The 5 tiny dinos, the 5 lightning bolts, and the 3 friendship necklaces. TikTok seller, thank you for the 4 roses. Appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Let's see if we can get this monkey here. Can we get the backing monkey? And we're at 59K likes. Let's get up to 100K. All right? I'm helping you guys with the likes. All right? I got the like machine on here. Look at it go. I'm helping you out. So make sure you guys keep hitting the like button. It doesn't work if I'm the only one liking the live, though. Everyone has to be doing it together. So make sure you're still hitting the like button. Why is it so hot in there? What do you mean? In this room? I have the air conditioner turned down for audio purposes. Yeah, viewership is way down. I think part of the viewership being down is because I took a bit of a break. So I think that's part of it. It happens. We'll get back to it. Yeah, the holiday too. That's part of it. Everyone's kind of meh, you know. Trump hopes to align with Netanyahu on Gaza war endgame during visit. President Trump wants to reach an agreement with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the meeting on Monday on terms of ending the war in Gaza, 2 U.S. officials tell Axios. Why it matters, Trump is trying to seize the momentum of the Israel-Iran ceasefire to secure a breakthrough in Gaza this week. After 4 months of failed talks, there have been fresh momentum in recent days towards a ceasefire deal. So we'll see what happens with this. And then here's this. Iran's president says they're open to dialogue with the U.S. after Israel war. Israel attacked Iran just days after Tehran and Washington were met with a new round of nuclear talks. The Iranian president, Mossad Pezeshkian, has said he believes Tehran can resolve its differences with the United States through dialogue, but trust would be an issue after the U.S.-Israel attack in his country. I am of the belief that they could very much easily resolve our differences and conflicts with the United States through dialogue and talks, Pezeshkian told the U.S. right-wing podcaster Tucker Carlson in an interview conducted on Saturday and released on Monday. Iran demands accountability for Israel and the U.S. war and aggression. Israel forces kill 82 in Gaza. Trump says ceasefire could happen this week. Yemen's Houthis claim to have sunk a ship and exchanged tax with Israel. Revolution says, why are we still funding this war? What happened to him in peace? I feel you. It's all political BS. This world will never see peace. I don't, yeah. Let me tell you something. We're going through a global economic shift. And if you know anything about history, history will tell you anytime there's a global economic shift, it breaks out in war. This happens all the time. Yeah, Revolution, I know he campaigned on it, but just because he campaigned on it doesn't mean he's going to do it. Politicians lie all the time. A spiritual shift too, my friend. I agree with that. Something is changing. I feel the winds of change, the shift for sure. Updates. Israeli unalives more than 60 in Gaza as Houthis attacks ships. Let's watch this little video here.
He's had more influence on American politics than many American politicians. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been a frequent visitor to the Oval Office over the last almost 30 years. He was the first foreign leader to visit Donald Trump after his latest election win, cementing Israel's needs at the heart of U.S. foreign policy. But from Clinton to Trump, the relationship between Netanyahu and U.S. presidents has never run smoothly.
He is aware that most Americans generally are committed to the existence of the State of Israel. They may, of course, have very different positions about what exactly that means, but in general, it's been considered a key part of American foreign policy.
Bill Clinton was so taken aback by Netanyahu's attitude, he was moved to profanity to describe him to aides. His most contentious relationship with Barack Obama, famously lecturing a clearly angered U.S. president who wanted movement on a two-state solution.
I think it's time to tell the Palestinians forthrightly, it's not going to happen.
He is not willing, he does not recognize the Palestinians as a people deserving of a state. He believes that Israel is the representative of all the Jewish people, even though American Jews and many Jews in many other countries would appear to disagree.
Netanyahu has often been accused by opponents of damaging Israel's relationship with the United States. But while he may frustrate and anger US presidents, he rarely fails to get what he wants. He'd known Biden for years, and though Netanyahu welcomed him to Israel after the October 7th attacks, he refused to consider American demands for a limited war on Gaza.
Biden sort of said the right things in terms of stopping the starvation, stopping the bombing of civilians in Gaza, but was not willing to really exert pressure by conditioning the U.S. military aid or arms sales because he feared the consequences on the right.
A right-wing bloc of pro-Israeli conservatives and evangelical Christians, a voting bloc few presidents will ignore, far less offend, but perhaps not a concern for Donald Trump.
Trump can squeeze the Israeli government without suffering political consequences because there's nobody to the right to whom the Israeli government can turn. They are stuck with him.
Trump has already expressed his frustration with Netanyahu in graphic terms.
They don't know what the they're doing.
But Netanyahu calculates no matter how he behaves, Israel won't lose its chief arms supplier and its main diplomatic shield, no matter who the president is. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, Washington.
All right. So this stuff's still going on, guys. It's still going on. Everyone thinks it's over, ceasefire, all the wars are over. It's not. But that makes sense because they don't want the markets to tank. But the fact of the matter is nothing's over. And it's crazy to me that people just, they believe the fake news. And that's why I'm like, okay, like moon cheese. Moon cheese is a real thing. Did they find the uranium? No, they did not. They did not find the uranium. Censored by TikTok, thank you for the backing, Monkey. And TikTok seller, thank you for the 3 roses. Revolution, thank you for the 10 popular votes. And Daniel, thank you for the heart me. And censored by TikTok, thank you for the 10 goats. Appreciate you. We did see that they supposedly moved all the uranium somewhere. We saw the trucks. So check this out, okay?
and the war between Israel and Iran. This is a live look in Jerusalem right now. Iran's foreign minister saying late tonight there is no agreement on a ceasefire with Israel, refuting President Trump's announcement earlier this evening that both Israel and Iran agreed to a, quote, complete and total ceasefire. Back to our breaking news in the Middle East.
So there was no ceasefire. Never was. There never was a ceasefire. FBI and DOJ memo claims there is no Jeffrey Epstein client list at all. Has anything Orange said true? I mean, minorly. Yeah. He did say he was going to deport a bunch of children and nonsense like that. So, yeah. There are some things that he hasn't lied about. So let's check this out.
And the FBI handed over a couple hundred pages of documents. But, you know, Sean, I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. And a source had told me where the documents were being kept. Southern District of New York, shock. So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m. Thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Cash is also, now that we have Cash here, it's a game changer, of course, and Cash is going to, Director Patel, is going to get us a detailed report as to why the FBI withheld all of those documents.
Okay, I want to be clear because I think people got frustrated because they were expecting more. You were expecting more, and you didn't find out less than 24 hours before the release. You got a whistleblower that confirmed that there were way more documents that they were supposed to turn over, and then you found out just before that.
Well, sure, and you're looking at these documents going, these aren't all the Epstein files. You know, there were flight logs, there were names and victims' names, and we're going, where's the rest of the stuff? And that's what the FBI had turned over to us. And so a source said, whoa, all this evidence is sitting in the Southern District of New York.
Yep.
So based on that, I gave them the deadline, Friday at 8, a truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. Cash is going to get me and himself, really, a detailed report as to why all these documents and evidence had been withheld. And, you know, we're going to go through it as fast as we can, but go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims of Epstein, because there are a lot of victims.
Well, you had identified in phase one over 254.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, is that the only thing that would be redacted? Will everything else be made public that you get in your possession?
Yeah, the FBI hasn't had, obviously, they haven't looked at the thousands of pages of documents that they've just received Friday. Yeah. But Cash has a team going through them, and it's always about protecting the victim. But you know what? We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know. The Biden administration sat on these documents. No one did anything with them. And why were they sitting in the Southern District of New York? I want a full report on that. You know, sadly, these people don't believe in transparency, but I think more, unfortunately, I think a lot of them don't believe in honesty. And it's a new day. It's a new administration. And everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
And that goes the same with the JFK files,
JFK,
RFK files,
Martin
MLK.
Luther King. Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What are the things that, and maybe some people don't understand the need to redact. In the case of a victim, that should be pretty obvious to people. What are the other things that maybe you would have to redact?
Well,
national security?
No, of course. National security, some grand jury information, which is always going to be confidential. But we'll see. Let's look through them as fast as we can, get it out to the American people, because the American people have a right to know, not only on that, but on Kennedy, on Martin Luther King, on all of these cases that the Biden administration has just sat on for all these years. So, yeah, it's really, it's not sad. It's infuriating that these people thought that they could sit on this information, but they can't. It's a new day, and we believe in transparency, and it's going to come out. And when we redact things, Sean, what we're going to do is not just pull pages out like they used to do, If something's redacted, you will know the line and you will know why it's redacted. A victim's name, identifying information of a victim.
It's so funny to me. They posted that, right? And they had all this information, and now all of a sudden, oh, they don't have a list. Not only did Jeffrey Epstein take his own life, but his infamous client list does not exist. The FBI and the Department of Justice have declared in a bombshell review the list, which has been the subject of speculation since the disgraced financier died in 2019, was said to include detailed records of his activities with high-profile individuals, including flight logs to his private island. The new information, released in a 2-page memo and first published by Axios, contradicts theories floating in right-wing circles surrounding the nature of Epstein's death and the apparent government deep state plot behind it. Prominent government deep state plot, prominent conservative figures have reportedly called for the Trump administration to release the files in full. Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi revealed in February she had been given Epstein's client list from the FBI, which she's preparing to investigate and release on the grounds of transparency. Nothing Americans have the right to know. Yet, according to the memo obtained by Axios, investigators found no incriminating client list among with the no credible evidence that Epstein's blackmailed prominent individuals. It is said there is no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. It says investigators have viewed the video from the Manhattan prison, and that supports the medical examiner's findings of the 66-year-old took his own life. The memo also adds, I thought they lost the footage. Didn't they say they lost the footage and that it was erased and didn't exist? Now all of a sudden, oh, there is no client list and we totally have the footage of it happening. This does not add up. Harumph, I say, harumph. They're hiding something, and I do not trust Trump or Kash Patel now. They lie so much they can't even keep their lies straight. I know, right? This is ridiculous. Okay? This is ridiculous. And if you believe that this is true, I got a bridge to sell you. I got some moon cheese that you would be interested in having with your wine. All right? This is nonsense. And people just believe it. I believe that there is a client list. I believe there is flight logs. I believe all the information is very incriminating. But they can't have Trump going down for this. And we all know what Elon Musk said about Trump being in this stuff, and now all of a sudden that it's come out that he was in it. Nothing. There's nothing. Oh, we found absolutely nothing here. And you know what? I would go to say shame on Elon Musk. Okay? Because I bet you we would have got this information and it wouldn't have been suppressed if he hadn't done that. And I get whatever, he did what he did, but now no one gets brought to justice. I agree with you, Guinea Marie. The pictures were probably proof enough, but it's not incriminating enough. But what I'm saying is if Elon had not thrown Trump under the bus, maybe some of these criminals could have been brought to justice. Go ahead, Jesse. You're mic'd.
Okay, so first of all, I saw Clinton and Trump, and I I'm 100% they have been connected to the flight logs. Those two for sure. But when she said national security, anybody that is protected by the Secret Service or by high military officials are completely protected. Their names are not allowed to be released. So even if his name or Bill Clinton or whoever is on that list is still being protected by Secret Service, that is a national security issue. And if you need information about Trump's history with Epstein, there is a horrific deposition that you can find of him being accused by a frightened young girl who just disappeared off the map one day. And that is, you can find that online in legal documents. So, but just to be clear, I believe Bill Clinton and Trump are on that list 100%. They're one Democrat, one. You think it's just pedophiles are pedophiles? That's across the board. That there is no right wing, left wing. Can be anybody. But this national security coming after the president would be national security, and it would never get released. Just saying.
Yeah, and think about it. Like, most of these people are high profile individuals. It's national security that all of them are not incriminated. It could tank the markets. It could do a lot of different things, right? So that's why all of a sudden there's nothing. Nothing to see here, guys. Everyone just forget about it. Everyone just forget about it. Nate says Trump's not on the list. Evidently, there is no list now. But before they were saying that the list existed and that they had it in their hands. Now all of a sudden, there is no list. Maybe Trump's on it, maybe Trump's not. But I'll tell you what, Elon said he was. And yeah, he's on the flight logs. Exactly. But here's the thing is, there was this information. It did exist. And now, because they don't want to incriminate Trump, all of a sudden it's just gone. All of a sudden there is nothing when they said they had everything and they were going to release it and go over it. Now there's nothing. And they said they had the footage from Epstein unaliving himself was erased and didn't exist. And then all of a sudden now they're saying, oh yeah, we saw it. He did it. Why can't we see the video? If that's true, let's see it. They're not showing us anything. They're keeping it all from us. They're suppressing all of it. I don't understand the denial over the kind of person Trump is. It's like you admit if you had. Yeah, it's all way too convenient. I agree. It's too convenient that people literally said they had the information and they were reviewing it, and then now all of a sudden there is no information. This is not good. These criminals, these disgusting people are going to get away with it. And that's why we're going to do donations for the human trafficking. We're going to be having that this month. I have to do a little bit of research on that. Revolution, if you could look into where we can send money that's going to help with human trafficking of children. I believe it's like the Tim Ballard Foundation or something like that. We want to do a donation run for that cause. We want to find something that is the money's actually going to go to the people. So we're gonna dig into it, and we're gonna find the best place that we can give these donations to that are actually going to do something positive. Joe, thank you for the 10 club cheers. Appreciate you. I have a few we can donate to. So many babies gone in horrendous things. Yeah. So I want to do something to help children this month. So we'll come up with it in shortly. So if you want to send donations, let me know, and hold off on your donations until later on this month, because I want to give as much to this cause as we can. So I will let you know 50% of all those donations will go to that cause. And I want to help the community. I want to help people. I want to help children. Above all, children need the help. So that's going to be what we're going to be giving to this month. And we raised $75 last month for a cause. I want to break that number. I want to raise hundreds of dollars for this. This is children. So if you're interested in giving a donation, let me know. But hold off, because I want to make sure that all donations go to this fund. You know what? I actually, here, the entirety of this month. Normally we do it for like a week or something like that. The entirety of all donations that come in this month, 50% of it will go towards helping children. You really need to research it. A lot of those organizations are a problem. Yes, they are a problem, and that's why we're going to find the best one. I believe the one that's connected to Tim Ballard is the best one, but we're going to make sure that the money goes to the right place. And so this month is going to be special. Any donation that comes in this month will go, 50% of that will go towards helping children that are being trafficked. So if you want to give a donation, send me a DM if you're on TikTok, and I will, I'll give you the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Those donations, we're going to do that through the entire month this time, because I care about children. I really do. I have children myself. Jesse has children, and we want to help these kids, man. We want to stop this Epstein stuff. The fact that they're saying that nothing's going on, this is egregious. Jesse says, yes, thank you. I've been using for this. Thank you. You've been waiting for this? Yeah, I've been waiting for it too. I've been wanting to do it, but I wanted to make sure that it goes to the right place. All right, technical analysis. Technical analysis. Anybody have any projects they want me to take a look at? Let me know. STX, not SXT. All right, and then SUI. Got you, Nate. Give me just a second here. All right. Let's do SUI. Let me get rid of some of these. SUI. Okay, yeah. So SUI is I would say that this is a rising wedge. This is just like XRP. And that's bearish. So it should get another pump through the 14th. Looks like it'll pump till then. And then it should fall, and that would bring it down to about 254, 255, somewhere about there. So this one will pump up to, I say 318, 312 to 318. Oh, wait, hold on. It could go to 325. All right. I'm going to go with 325. This thing will probably hit 325 and then come down, but more conservatively, that would probably be a wick. I think more conservatively 323. I think that's probably the more accurate number. 318 to 323, and then back down to 255, 254. That's what I said, right? Yeah. Zebek, I got you. Oh, Zex's cash? Yeah, I'll look at that one. All right. STX. STX. Stacks. So STX looks like a diamond top. This one's probably going to come down. But if everything pumps, it'll pump. Kind of looks like a diamond top. I'm not too sure if it is, though. Let me look in a lower time frame. It's kind of out of structure for the diamond top, but they're never perfect. Okay, here's what I see. It's going to pump. Inverted head and shoulders. So that should take it to about 80 cents. 78.5 to 80 cents on STX. And by the way, the red light's on because long term we're going to be moving down. But we have a move up first. I'm going to put the white light back on. We have a move up first, and then it's going to be a downward movement, I believe. All right. What was the other one? Zex's cash. What's the ticker on that one? Oh, it's Zcash. ZEC. ZEC, right? So no bull run? Oh, we're in the bull run. This is the end of the bull run. What happened to bull run in November? Yeah, what I'm saying is right now it looks like things are going to move a little bit upward and then come down and then could potentially pump from August, September, October, November. But right now, things are looking bearish, but they're about to get one last move up before they dip down. I think we pump with the moon cycle till about the 10th to the 14th. The crypto week thing is going to cause a bit of FOMO pump, and then we should get a pullback from there and then take off. ZEC. Is this it right here? ZEC perpetual contract? I don't think that's the right one. Does this look like the right chart to you, Marco? Does that look right to you? Marco, is this the right one? Marco, hello. Marco's gone. We lost Marco. What happened to Marco? All right, that's it. All right. Let me see here. So mind you, there's not a lot of data here. So it's very hard to chart. But go into a shorter time frame. I think it gets a pump up. There's no real pattern. I think it could get a pump up though, because everything looks short-term bullish over the next week or so. But long-term in the day, this is a head and shoulders, man. Got your shoulder here. It's a little out of structure. And I would say more or less this is pretty much a bear flag. Question is this... I'm going to call this a flat bottom. Okay, this is flat on the bottom here. Maybe this is more out here like that. But kind of looks like a bear flag to me. I'm going to go with this though. No, that don't seem right either. It's just not... It's not showing anything yet. It could be that this is an inverted head and shoulders or a triple bottom that's forming. This is a descending channel, so it's going to get a pump here soon. And then, hard to say. It's too new. There's not enough data to really get it. But this descending channel is going to get a pump here, and that's over the next couple days. So hard to say, really hard to say with these new ones. There's just not enough data. Reckon we'll get a black swan event dump, maybe with tariffs, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think it is hard to say right now, because for every good news, there's bad news with it. It just seems like shit's over. I hate to say it, but and be like pessimistic. I want to believe that we're going to get an alt season. I want it to happen so bad. I want it. But we need trade deals. We need regulation. We need rate cuts. We need peace in the Middle East. You're asking for a lot, you know. Asking for a lot. All right. Anybody want something else? Even XRP. XRP, let's take a look at it here. Seems to be right at that line. If it breaks down, I'd say if it hits like 220, it'll probably get a bit of a pullback, and then boom, this thing's coming back down. I'd say 210 to 206. I'm thinking 206 on this one. Good night, Guinea Marie. All right. If no one has any more, then let's pull this up here. Don't forget, we have the new schedule. Move this. Let me move this. So we have a new schedule. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 5 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So Wednesdays are going to be taken away because I'm doing the TA class. And then Jesse's going to be doing her show Wednesday and Saturday. So it's actually going to be 7 days of content coming in. And Jesse's show is going to be from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Make sure you give Jesse a follow, by the way. Everybody follow Revolution Starts Now. She's there in the chat. Click on her name, send her a follow, set your alerts, come watch this show. Her shows are actually quite amazing. She's a natural. All right, she is a natural for sure. Check out her show. And then don't forget, we have hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have mugs. Like, I got my mug right here. We have stickers. Get your merchandise. They're all on the Discord. There's the link on the Discord. And then you can click the link in my bio to join the Discord, and that's where you'll get all that information. That's also where we're having the technical analysis class. If you are interested in joining the technical analysis class, send me a DM. I will send you the recording of Sunday's class so that you can get up to speed of where we're at. And I'll be recording these. So if you come into the class late, I will give you access for that month, okay? And then when a new month comes along, it'll probably fall off because I'm not going to be sending out like 30 freaking videos. So I do have one spot open. And if you've been a subscriber for a while and you want to get into the class, I may make room, but I'm not going to let it be full. We're not doing 10 people. I'll tell you that right now. No. I want to keep it small. So if you're interested in the technical analysis classes, let me know. And then we have our special guest on Friday. We're having Brooke Odyssey. I think we're going to talk about the pod, living in the pod and eating the bugs. We're going to talk about some of that stuff. We're going to talk about XRP. I hope Brick can make me believe. I want to believe in XRP. I really do. I really, really do. Morning Star Inc. Is that a project? Chilwell? Let's see here. There was VeChain. Let's take a look at VeChain. Crypto Well. Was that a project you wanted me to look at? V chain. It's on ETH. What's the ticker? Okay, so it looks like we got that ascending channel right here forming. Here's your channel. I think it pumps and then it falls down, and it could hit here at 0.018 to 0.017 and form a triple bottom, and that would be bullish as well. It's a bit of a double bottom, but it looks like we got this double bottom here, but it looks like we're probably going to end up triple bottoming on it. And I think all these ones that are showing a double bottom look like they're about to triple bottom. And if it does, that would take the price up to 0.04. I'm seeing 0.04 on this one. At the minimum, it could go higher. You know, it could do... I'm thinking 0.04, man. That's where I think. Maybe 0.041 or 0.42. No problem, Alan. All right, what's the ticker? Well, all right, do XRP. Well, what's that ticker? Let me just try typing it in. Morning Star Inc. You're going to have to give me the ticker on that one, Will. Morningstar. Ethereum Morningstar? Is this it right here? Does that look right to you? Oh man, that's gnarly looking. You giving me a hard one today, huh? Looks like it's kind of running sideways. I'll tell you, this is going to be strong resistance. If it does pump 3003, but it looks like it's probably going to dip down. Let me go into a shorter time frame here. Now, I would say this is a cup and handle, but it kind of is. It is still a cup and handle, but because it's a bearish drop into it, it's more likely to not fulfill. And look at, even here, this thing's like unchartable, man. Descending channel, and then it dropped. Looks like it got a diamond bottom here. It pumped up, got a channel, and it's fallen past support now, which means it could potentially go... It could stop at 2600. but I think it falls to like 2,500 and then maybe it recovers from there. This one's so volatile, man. Look, it got a double top, ran down. It could come down here and double bottom at like 23 and then shoot up from there to the moon. Yeah. I'll tell you though, this one's volatile, man. So like it's run down pretty far. If it doesn't fall below, I mean, it's got pretty good support here at 25. If it falls below 25, it's going lower. It's going to 2,000. But I think the next real strong line of support is like 17.5. I don't think it falls any lower than that. But I'll tell you what, if it hits 17.5, I would buy that thing. It'll probably shoot up again like it has in the past. There's some money to be made there for sure. All right. Holler wanted XRP. So XRP is this ascending wedge. And I would go as far as to say that XRP is still within structure of this inverted head and shoulders. Okay, let me redraw that. All right. I'd say it's still within structure. I think the conclusion is it's probably coming down. It's probably coming down to 21. 21, 22. I think it comes down to like 22. That's my conclusion. That's what I think. Or it stops at 23 and it double bottoms. But I mean, I'm not quite sure. I think it forms another bottom here and then shoots up. I think it got a double top here. And see how like this one's round and then this one's sharp. I think you got a round one here, you'll probably get a sharp one there. But I think it's coming down a little bit more. This one you're going to have to watch. Went to 47K. I know I've seen that. That's freaking ridiculous. Do I think it's going to do that again? I don't know. I don't know. I think that was early sentiment, man. Early sentiment. But it could, you know. I think you'd be lucky to get it past 14K, to be honest with you. But it could. It could see an all-time high. I don't know. That is beautiful, though. That'd be nice to see it go off. Yeah, there's not a lot of retail in it. Not a lot of sentiment behind it. You got to understand, Chillwell, the liquidity is more spread out than it's ever been. And yeah, hopefully you caught it in 2024. Yeah, so I think the pumps that are coming are going to be a bit lackluster. So 10K XRP is not happening tomorrow. I don't think 10K XRP is happening ever. Maybe in a few hundred years. But yeah, XRP I think is it's going to come up here just a little bit more. It could hit 35 and then come back down. And that would send it down to 190, maybe 180. And I'd say it could go as low as 160. But this head and shoulders is still in play. And look at, okay, this armpit is lower than the other one. that would indicate that it's going to fall and possibly even lower. It could hit 150. What's the utility on Morningstar? Jesse, can you pull up the utility on Morningstar, Ethereum Morningstar? Are you there? Look into that one for me. 81K likes. Let's go. Make sure you're all hitting that like button. Let's get to 100K. Let's get to 100K likes. We can do it. Chillwell, thank you for the 6 popular votes. Let's see what kind of gifts we can get in here. Can we get something substantial? Can we try to make some kind of money this live? How about a galaxy? Big Baller, thank you for the good night. Can we get a galaxy? Who's got me with a galaxy? Someone hook it up. Let me get the galaxy, the holy grail of TikTok gifts. I mean, I guess the lion or something else, but you know, a galaxy, man. Hook me up. Jesse, let me know when you have that. I don't know if Jesse left already. Jesse, are you still here? Can you give me utility on Ethereum Morningstar? Let me know when you're ready, and I'll mic you in. We need the utility on Ethereum Morningstar. All right, miking you now.
Okay, so clearly it has to do with Ethereum. Fueling a future financial system for Ethereum programmable nature and decentralized applications. Turing complete and fully programmable nature allows developers to build and operate various decentralized applications such as smart contracts, DeFi, NFTs, DOAs, staking rewards. Ethereum utilizes proof of stake model to help validate transactions and receive rewards. So, a reward system for Ethereum ETFs that have been approved by the SEC. Investment exposure. Morningstar's perspective, based on the provided information, highlights Ethereum's utility as a fundamental platform for decentralized technologies and its native token ETH as a crucial component powering those applications and offering potential investment opportunities through means like staking and ETFs.
All right, cool. Thank you. So, yeah, that's Morningstar Ethereum. Holler says, do you know where Mega is? I do. He's a busy man. I know he's working and doing other things. I believe you can... He's in his live and makes videos from time to time. But, yeah, I do miss Mega myself. I wish he was around. But, you know, let me tell you something. Being a creator is very stressful, especially in the technical analysis side. People are looking to you for their financial freedom. And I'll tell you, the stress is overwhelming. But if you're interested in price alerts for XRP, Holler, become a deluxe subscriber, and I will do on-demand technical analysis for you. I'll help coach you. I post price point videos for XRP. Bullish Babe, thank you for the heart me and the hand hearts. Bullish Babe's coming on the show. I'm working on your flyer. This week is Brooke Odyssey is coming on the show. Everybody give Bullish Babe a follow. Great creator. Her show with Cosmic Crypto, Cosmically Bullish. Awesome show. I love it. It's my new favorite show. I can't miss it. I've been really busy, so I've been kind of missing it. I missed it today. But I will be there soon to troll you all. I will be there. Your favorite goat troll will be there, I promise. I appreciate you guys. What they're doing for the community is incredible. And you know what I love about Bullish Babe is she reads the charts like I do. I've never really seen any other creator that's doing the TA the way I do. She's pretty much the only one that I know of. So my stamp of approval, definitely get more than one opinion for sure. We troll because we care. Of course, Bullish Babe. Of course. Credit should be given where credit is due. She's still rolling with the crypto gangsters, yeah. Cosmic Crypto and the Wolf Pack. She's with the Wolf Pack. I believe you teach TA with the Wolf Pack, right? Bullish Babe teaches the TA as well. I do have a couple spots open for my TA class, or we'll have one. But if somebody's been a subscriber for a while, I'll open it up to them. But I'm not doing very many. I do teach every morning at 8 a.m. in the Wolf Pack. 8 a.m. Eastern time, correct? I believe they're Eastern time. Yeah, make sure you give her a follow. Great creator. Love what you're doing for the space. Eastern time. Gotcha. We're at 85K likes and only 22 viewers. I tell you, I take a couple days off and then viewership just goes out the window. Viewership out the window. All right. Chelsea, is this what you're seeing on XRP? What are you seeing? I'm seeing this wedge. But I'm also seeing this head and shoulder double bottom. On what time frame though? This is the 1 day. Maybe double bottom on the hour. No. I see a cup and handle, but it looks like it broke structure here. Where are you seeing a double bottom? On XRP? I don't see it. I'm going to have to come watch your show. It's got to be a lower time frame. Where are you seeing a double bottom, Chelsea? What time frame are you on? I want to believe. Make me believe. Let's look at XRP in the 1 week. Ooh, that is not good. That's what I see. Not a bull flag. That is a descending triangle. A bearish pattern. Not good. Not good at all. That would indicate $143. Now 128. If you accept me, I'll come up for a second. Yeah, please. You got to come up as a co-host though. So you got to start a live and then come up because I'm in the dual view thing. So I can only have a co-host. Please come up. Would love to have you. I've told you before, you're always welcome. Make me believe, Chelsea. I want to believe. I want to so badly. Let me see if I can find you here. I don't see you in people that I can request for. So I believe in order to be a co-host, you have to start your own live and then hop over here. Accept you. I can't accept any guests because I'm in dual layout right now. You know what we're missing right now? Here's what we're missing. I don't want to start a live because I have to close it right afterwards. All right. No worries. You're coming up soon. We'll get you on soon. Think like a couple weeks, right? You'll start one? All right. Do it. Because I'm about to end my live and maybe everyone will just move on over to your live. All right, I'm coming to look for you right now. I don't see you. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. We're at 89K likes. Let's get to 100K, guys. 100K. I don't see Bullish Babe. Yeah, we are so close. We're at 90K. We need 10K likes. Let's go. Who's got the clicker on? I do. I've got the clicker on. But we got to work together. Oh, shoot. Clicker stopped working. There we go. Let's see if we can get the clicker working again. Shazam. Thought so. Hey, we've done 2K likes with no clicker. We had 0.2 million likes in one live. No clickers. All thumbs. She's live? All right, let me see. All right. Invite sent.
Hello.
Hey!
I'm in my pajamas.
Welcome to the pajama party.
You get to see me in my rare form. How are you?
I'm doing great. Glad to see you.
Good. It's good to see you too. So the double bottom is actually, you can see it in your screen right now. Thanks, Jeff. So see at the bottom of the falling, or that's like it's kind of a symmetrical, but at the bottom there is a double bottom where it's touching the bottom trend line. That's
Right
where
there?
I'm looking at the double bottom.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I see it.
I actually think that that's a double bottom that's going to pull us out of that pattern.
That's a possibility. And hopefully, I lean not. Because, I mean, we would have to break out of this wedge and out of this descending triangle. Also, remember that this bottom comes all the way down here to the 160
Yeah, so
zone.
I am discounting the scatter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that drop right there was like not like a textbook drop, right? And
Right.
so for me, I'm discounting that and seeing that as a double bottom. And also the 1 hour Stokes are turning right now, which makes me think that the 4 hour is going to start turning. And if that does, then it will not only.
Oh, you froze on me. Let's look at the 4 hour here. I don't know. I hope so. I hope it's a double
That's what
bottom.
I'm looking at.
Maybe. I think in the day.
Let me take a look at the daily. When I turn you off, I'm going to freeze for a second. So.
All right, you're good. I see what you're seeing. I don't know. I want to believe. I think in the week you see it best.
And actually, I see it as more of, so at first I had it in the pattern that you have it in right now, but I actually see it as a falling channel. So if you move that start line up to the green, the first green candle that comes down, right? So next to the big green candles on the left.
In what time frame?
So if you draw the line like you have it on the top, right? Except you draw it from the candles so that everything is touching. So you have more touches than you have right now. And then you start from where that green line is to the left of where the pole would be, or to the right of where the pole would be. If you start it there and you draw it down so that there's two touches on that trend line, it's actually more of a falling channel than it is the triangle, which is what I first had patterned out.
In the 1 week.
1 day.
Oh,
so if you go to the daily.
That's why I'm not seeing it. Okay. See, 1 day. Let me get rid of all these lines. All right, let's see here. So starting from this right here.
So go back over to the start of the pattern and see where that first green candle is. If you take that, it's so hard to say on here. If you're looking at the pole, like where you drew the pole and then the triangle, see that green candle to the right of the pole, the first green candle?
This one right here.
Yep, closer to there. No, one over.
That one.
Yeah. So if you draw it from there and draw it downward, there should be two touches on that line. Sorry, I can't see what you're actually doing. Let me see. Can you put the chart in the big box?
I'm not seeing what you're seeing. I want to. Let me see here. So that green line We lost you. You froze again.
So can I share my screen?
Yes,
No?
please. Go ahead.
Okay,
Of
hold
course.
on. I don't know how to do it. That's the problem.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
You might have to be in game mode. Like if you're gaming, you can share your screen.
Let me see. So usually I have an option. Hold on one sec.
What? They give you an option for that? I've never been able to do that.
Yeah, so I've been able to do it on multi-guest, but I don't know if when I'm
You're not in the office, huh?
I'm not in the office. I wish I was. So if you look at the daily and you look at 1 second, I'm gonna take a look at it and then
So I know it's this candle you're talking about. You keep freezing on me.
okay, so it's 8 candles over from the start of the pattern. So if you start 8 candles over on the daily, there's a green wick that comes down. And if you start from there,
Oh, right here.
yeah, and
I
then
see
you
it.
draw down. Yep. And you draw down, and on the top you draw down. It actually creates a falling channel.
Right here. Yeah, okay.
Right? And so at first I had the pattern that you have drawn, but then I realized that it didn't have enough touches on it. And so I don't think that's the pattern. I actually think it's a falling channel.
I've been watching this one for a while. I had something like this. Like that channel right there, though, right? Basically, not drawn exactly the way you said, but
Yes. Yeah. And so what that would mean is that we've broken out of the channel,
mm-hmm.
and that this pattern is actually, and that's what I was talking about with the double bottom. If we've broken out from that falling channel and we get rid of the scatter on the first bottom and we draw that like a double bottom right there, that actually, do you see where I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
this
Like
would be the
yep,
bottom, and this would be the other bottom.
exactly. Yeah. So in trading, like in reading charts, sometimes you have to like look through the friction, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. They're never textbook.
Yeah. And so for me, that's what I'm seeing now more than anything is actually the 1 hour's curving, the 4 hours about to curve, and the daily, even though we're pointed down, if the 1 hour and the 4 hour curves, we now have an opportunity to break out of that double bottom. And not only will we break out of the double bottom, but we're also probably going to the top of the channel, because usually falling channels and falling wedges break down to where they began.
So this is where I had my lines drawn, because it lines up here, here, and then all this was part of the channel, and then I had this one below here, right? So that's the channel that I was seeing. And so it looks like it broke up and it's maybe trying to break above it. Yeah. At the same time, I've had these lines up here for a very long time, these two. And then I had this channel right here up for a long time. Actually, I think if I just go to refresh, it'll show you my original lines.
Now, what if you move that line up, the top trend line, move it up so that there's more, so that first, nope, keep it where you were to start, but move the bottom up so that the top line is actually touching 1, 2, 3.
Like that.
Move it up even more, right?
Whoops.
Almost so that third touch is on the channel line. So we haven't, if you move it so that we haven't actually broken out of the channel yet.
Oh, like this.
Bingo.
Oh.
So that's more what I'm thinking. So actually the first time that you drew it could be a possibility see that this is actually, and actually, Oz, move that start line down to the next candle so that it's actually touching 3 times on the trend line.
Like that. Here, here,
nope.
and here.
The start of it. So where you
Oh.
started on that wick, move it down to the next candle.
Okay.
So that the
Or is it this one?
yeah. So like from the start of it, move it down to the neck. Yeah, to the neck. See, look at that. That looks like the pattern to me.
Okay.
So now you have 3 touches on the pattern. You've got 2 touches on the bottom. We may go back down to retouch that bottom trend line, but most likely this is a falling channel that is actually in an inverted head and shoulders or double bottom, and we're going to break out of that channel like pretty soon.
I see
what
this
I think.
right here, like this.
Yep.
Okay. And then that would break us out of this channel. And so this would be the micro, and then the macro, this major channel would be a big move up to like all-time
Exactly.
highs. Maybe $3.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would put it at September, hitting $3 around September. I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I tell my trading guys, right, is that whatever, and I call them guys, there are a couple girls in the group, but not many. What I tell them is whatever time frame the pattern looks the clearest on, right? You can get the most touches, whatever time frame that is, that's the time frame that you map it and you trade on. And if you can trade on the time frame where the pattern looks the cleanest, usually you'll come out with the best scenario. And so for me, I'm constantly moving my lines on time frames to see which pattern on what time frame looks the cleanest.
Right.
And to me, this is what on XRP, this is the pattern that looks the cleanest.
Yeah, and like the daytime, what I've noticed is like the daytime will tell you what's going to be coming in the upcoming weeks or months. The hour will tell you what's coming up in the next couple days. You know.
Yeah.
I mainly use the 1 day and the 1 hour, but I like to use the week as well. So
I like to use the week now because like it's so choppy that I need to see like what's going on in a bigger picture. But I start with the daily. I go down to the 4 hour, usually maybe 8 hour, 4 hour, 1 hour.
Yeah.
And then I go down to the smaller time frames. But I always like to see what my pattern is on the highest time frame because that's going to lead you, whether you're range trading or you're trading long term, that's what's going to show you what you're doing.
This is what I'm saying. I think that this is a descending channel right here. Right? And it broke up. Right? And that would mean that it would probably continue to move. I would say at the most 247. That's a strong resistance zone. But I took those away recently, and I was like, I want to get a fresh look at what it's doing now and just right here, right? And that's when I saw that wedge pattern or an ascending channel, which eventually is bearish. And I think that brings it back down to like 215-ish. And then it could potentially go from there. But I think double bottom, if you look at, let me pull one up.
If you see that, like that, at the end of the day, for me, looking at the bigger pattern that I was just showing you, that would actually bring us down to the bottom of the pattern, right? So if it's going to go down, it's usually, when you're in a range like that, it usually is a magnet to the top or the bottom, right? And unless we have some kind of support in the middle of that range, we are most likely going to the bottom of that channel. So that's the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause for that, because I think we're in, even though I think we're going down a little bit right now, I think we may be in a bullish scenario. So it would have to bounce somewhere along one of those trend lines in the middle of the range.
Yeah, I think things are turning around probably mid-July here. It should start to be more upward movement. This is why I think you're right. Okay? And I'm glad you showed that to me. This is H bar, and so many of these are doing it. And this is a more textbook version of what you just showed me. This is a double bottom right here.
Mm-hmm.
And but what I'm also seeing is the same thing that XRP is doing. Oh, shoot. Is it's got that same wedge pattern right here.
Yeah, it's so I talked about this on our live today. When you so that looks to me like a bear flag, right? I have like a I don't know this one of these superhuman strengths of like seeing patterns. I think it's my ADHD. I don't know what it is. Yeah. And so for me, that looks like a bear flag, right? Which could definitely be a W pattern, could definitely be a double bottom.
I think it's going to be a triple bottom.
It could be, for sure.
I think it comes down like this. Boom.
But it may just be taking a long time for a double bottom. And I think that's what's happening on XRP. It's happening on SHIB. It's happening on a lot of the altcoins that I thought were in a cup and handle on the daily. But what's happening is that cup and handle, instead of going directly up, which cup and handles tend to do, which is why it's my favorite pattern, right? I love that pattern to trade because, yeah, it's an easy pattern to trade. When you see it, it usually goes. The difference is right now what's happening is, which is why I think Bitcoin may shoot up in the next week. They're stalling at the bottom. They're crab walking along the bottom. And that to me means it's double bottoming.
Yeah, I agree. And because I'm looking at H bar and everything kind of moves together with the market, H bar is a more textbook version of that double bottom you just shared. That I think it's going to triple bottom. I think we're going to get another drop because of tariffs on the 9th, maybe August 1st. But also at the same time, they're talking about the crypto week. ISO is going in to play on what, the 14th, I think, or the 12th. And then there's just a lot of bullish news, right? Which leads me to believe that we're on the upside, even though the micro trend is this right here. That could easily break because the macro is way more bullish. So I think you're right. And I think that lines up exactly with what you were just showing me in XRP. It's just a little out of structure because XRP does its own thing. So I think you might be right.
Also, I think, I learned from one of the traders that I learned from was Crypto Lifer. I don't know if you know that name.
No.
But he always said, like, and it's so funny because the more I trade, the more I understand like how much I actually took from him. When you're watching a trader, you don't realize like how much you're actually absorbing. But for me, there were a couple of things that he said that always stuck with me. One is that if something breaks out of a pattern and breaks back into it, you treat it like it never broke out of the pattern in the first place.
Right.
The other thing is that no patterns have to be exact. And so I always look at patterns like H bar to me is in a huge cup and handle on the 3-day, and it's in a slanted cup and handle. And it's almost touching I think it's the 50. It's almost touching right now. And so for me, that's the pattern that I would play if I were playing H bar, right?
You're saying this is a cup and handle right here?
So go to the 3-day. Are you on the 3-day?
I don't have the 3-day on mine.
Do you have the 2-day?
I have the 1-day and the 1 week. But I can see it more. I still see what you're seeing.
So the handle is actually starting, if you go move back, keep moving back in time. There we go. The handle is actually starting at the top of that pattern.
So this is your cup?
Nope. It's actually a bigger cup, but it's on the 3-day.
So this is the cup.
That's the handle. So what you're looking at right now in that falling wedge that you're looking at right now, or the falling channel, that's actually the handle of the cup and handle in the 3-day.
Okay. Interesting. I wish I had the 3-day on here.
And so that's the other thing that I took from him, is just that patterns are not always perfect. And if you're looking for perfection, you won't always see the patterns. And for me, like, there have been more slanted cup and handles that have broken out than any other pattern that I've ever watched. And so on the 3-day for H bar, there's a slanted cup and handle. I think
like that.
No, I wish I could share my screen
I know,
so
right?
badly.
I wish I
know.
could go into the 3D.
So actually, see where the pattern starts for you, like
Mm-hmm.
see where all the way over to the left where that big huge God green candle is. Keep going.
This one?
Nope, keep going to the farther in history.
Oh, yeah, because it's
Back.
this
There
one.
we go. That okay. So at the top of that pattern, like where it goes to the
Cup.
very top, that's where the handle starts on the 3-day. So you're already in a cup. You've completed the cup, and the handle starts at the very tippity top. There we go. Yeah.
I see it. Okay.
So if you saw the
Cup.
3-day, the 3-day actually turns.
I would say that maybe this consolidation right here is the. Let me get rid of this one.
So are you on the weekly? What are you on right now?
I'm on the day, but I can get into the week here. Let's look at week. It looks similar. Oh.
So see what
Cup.
I'm saying? That's a slanted cup and handle. So see where if you open it up a little bit. Okay. So see this is not going to be completely clear because we're on the weekly, but see where that green wick is that just disappeared because you.
This one?
Yeah, like right around there.
Yeah.
If you draw that to the top of the. Yeah.
Of the cup. So that's the cup. This is the handle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right? And so if you play that like a slanted cup and handle, if it breaks the trend line over there, the target is huge.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And there's a lot of patterns that are in this right now.
So let's say this is the cup and handle. I would say it goes to.
I'll measure
75 cents.
I'll be right.
80 cents. And then yeah, I'd say like 70, 75 cents. We lost her.
You didn't lose me. I was trying to measure.
Okay. I'm thinking 70, 75 cents. What do you think? Maybe this
Hold on,
is
I'll be right back.
Yeah, maybe this is a whole nother cup and handle that's going to form. And then this is the handle of the next cup and handle, sending it up to like $1. Interesting. I could see that though. I hope you're right, man. I got a lot of money in these things. Not a lot. I got my moon bags. Chelsea's face is frozen in the funniest position right now.
Oh God, I gotta get it off. Oh my God.